February 7, 2013. The Carnival Triumph set sail from Galveston, Texas. What was supposed to be a carefree, 4-day tropical vacation for over 200 people quickly devolved into one of the most infamous cruise disasters in modern history. This wasn't just a shipwreck. It was a sewage-filled, power-deprived, 5-day survival story. And when it was over, the world would remember it as the Poop Cruise. Let's break down the true story that shocked the world, and how it's making headlines again, more than a decade later. The Triumph was a floating city, 13 decks, multiple pools, casinos, theaters, bars, and over 1,000 crew members. Spirits were high as the ship headed for Cozumel. But on the morning of February 10, everything changed. An engine fire erupted in the aft engine. Ship's power. No electricity. No propulsion. No air conditioning. And worst of all, no working toilets. The crew activated emergency power, but it wasn't enough. The sewage system was dead. Passengers were suddenly living in sweltering cabins with human waste backing up into their toilets. Showers stopped working. Air turned humid and rancid. And without functioning plumbing, things got real bad, real fast. The crew started handing out red biohazard bags and instructed passengers to defecate in them and urinate in the showers. Seriously, this was the actual plan. One Carnival Entertainment director even admitted in the new Netflix documentary, Trainwreck, Poop Cruise, that she told people to pee in the showers and joked about figuring out number 2. But it wasn't funny for the people stuck in it. Without working restrooms, passengers started relieving themselves in hallways, stairwells, and bags. Toilet paper ran low. Sewage began seeping through floors, filling hallways with sludge and a stench you can't even imagine. Cabins were unbearable. So people set up tents on the upper decks using bathrobes and towels just to sleep in the open air. And food? With no refrigeration, the ship couldn't prepare hot meals. Passengers were fed cold sandwiches, sometimes the same ham and cheese ones, 3 times a day. Lines for food stretched for hours. There were fights over food, fights over water, fights over who could use a bucket to go to the bathroom. Meanwhile, Carnival was frantically trying to figure out how to tow this nightmare of a ship back to land. Originally, they planned to bring it to Progreso, Mexico. But currents pushed the ship north, and tugs eventually redirected it to Mobile, Alabama. It took 5 days. 5 long days in 90-degree heat with overflowing toilets, soaked carpets, and sick passengers. People got infections. Some had panic attacks. One woman even had to sleep on a poop-stained mattress because there was nowhere else to go. By the time they docked in Mobile on February 14, passengers had coined the nickname, the Poop Cruise, and the name stuck. The media had a field day. CNN had wall-to-wall coverage. Twitter exploded. Late-night hosts roasted Carnival every night. The ship became a meme, a headline, and a warning. Carnival's response? They gave passengers a full refund, $500 in cash, a voucher for a future cruise, and some reimbursement for travel expenses. But that didn't stop the lawsuits. Hundreds sued Carnival, but most of the claims were dismissed because of the fine print in cruise contracts, which legally shields companies from a lot of liability. To their credit, Carnival spent over $500 million to upgrade their entire fleet's emergency systems after the disaster. They also introduced a passenger bill of rights, promising basic protections during breakdowns. But critics say those rules are barely enforceable. And what about the Carnival Triumph? After extensive repairs and a rebrand, the ship was renamed Carnival Sunrise in 2019. Yep, it's still sailing today, under a new name and fresh paint, carrying thousands of passengers every year. Fast forward to 2025, and this disaster is back in the spotlight, thanks to Netflix. Released on June 24, 2025, Trainwreck, Poop Cruise dives deep into the horror. Survivor interviews, crew testimonies, archival footage, and raw, disgusting details that didn't make headlines at the time. One former passenger describes stepping in sewage barefoot. Another recalls the ship tilting during storms, splashing human waste across cabins. There are even reports of people hoarding sandwiches like currency. Director Jen Baxter says the documentary is about more than poop, it's about how quickly society breaks down when systems collapse. And that's exactly what makes this story so unforgettable. It's not just a cruise gone wrong. It's a case study in corporate failure, emergency mismanagement, and how thousands of people devolved into chaos in less than 72 hours without toilets, air conditioning, or hope. If you thought your worst travel experience was bad, just be thankful you didn't end up on this cruise. The Carnival Triumph's voyage went down in history, and now it's back, messier than ever, in high definition. So, what do you think? Was Carnival to blame? Would you ever cruise again after this? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more unbelievable real-life disasters and celebrity scandals, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.